Good morning, Sacajawea. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Everyone, we have the pleasure of meeting Sacajawea Fanning of Fanning Financial Group. She is the CEO and founder.
Yes, ma'am.
I know you are. Okay. So describe your business, Sacajawea. First of all, tell me a little bit about your name. Tell me why you were called Sacajawea, because I think that's something everybody wants to know.
Okay, so that's a story. So my mom thought she was having a boy. So my name was Michael for a long time. So, I came and the doctor was like, surprise, girl. So she was like, oh, okay, cool. But she wanted to keep the name M for the name. So she changed my name to Melissa. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then she was in the room with another lady who had a little girl, and the lady who was in the room with her took the name. So my mom was all upset and like, what, like, I know I'm not going to keep name my child the same name. And she knew that I wanted that name. So my mom got upset and everything like that. So I didn't have a name. So her friend who was there as a nurse at the hospital, as well as a lady who was doing an internship from the Philippines, they asked, like, especially a little lady from the Philippines, like, can I help? Can we help name your baby? So they came up with a list of names on a little notebook, a piece of paper. And excuse me, Sacagawea was on the list. And so they were like, they just picked my name from the list. And that's how I got my name. And she still has the piece of paper, I believe, from it.
That's a great story. I
Yeah.
love that. Okay, well, we are here to talk business this morning.
Yes, ma'am.
So talk about Fanning Financial Group.
So Fanning Financial Group came because, well, let me start from the beginning. So I was in the military for 8 years, and I did financial management. So I really started my financial management career back in 1998 when I joined the U.S. Air Force. Served 8 years, moved around all around the world, had 5 locations in 8 years. That was a lot of moving. And so I was like, I enjoy what I did. I helped the troops. I managed and supervised troops, also civilian employees when I was in Turkey. So it was like a broad range of what I did to help people. So I really enjoyed my career. And then once I separated, excuse me, because I was just tired of the moving. So I settled here in Maryland in the DMV area. You received my clearance, top secret, and everything like that, and all those little special tickets. Then transitioned over to the federal government. And in the federal government, continued my financial management career. But unfortunately, I transitioned to the intelligence community. So I didn't help people as much as I was helping people in the military. And so the stuff I did, I really couldn't talk about. So people would ask me, how your day? It was good. And just keep it moving. So after a while, I was selected to be on Capitol Hill as a fellow under a fellowship for the Brookings Institute in 2017. And that was amazing, just being behind the scenes, seeing how government truly works. And then they also rewrote the tax code during that time as well.
Wow.
So I was like, okay, cool. I went back to my place of permanent duty, and I realized that I needed a change. Like something spoke to me where I needed to be in a place where I could help people again. So that's when I started to help people. I formed my little company, Fanning Financial Group, LLC. And I was like, okay, let me help people with their budget, savings, retirement, excuse me, credit, and things like that. And so I was just excited, started doing that back in like late 2017 and early 2018. And so when I started doing that, I started getting all these little networking opportunities to network with other people in the business. And so that's how I met my mentor. Her name is Shirley Liu, and she's here in the DMV area. And she introduced me to the side of life insurance and how that could help people. So in March of 2018, I went ahead, started working with her, got my license, and then learned even more about the business, about how I could help people even more. Like really people, I think it's really a psychological like block we have when it comes to money. We are very, very tied to money in a sense where we feel like money is a living, breathing thing, and it's not. So a lot of times when people make mistakes with their money, they think it's like forever and they can no longer, they can't get it, climb themselves out of that hole. which isn't true. And I try to show people, hey, let's lay a blueprint based on the goals you want to do, and we can get those accomplished for you.
Wow, that's pretty broad. But that's
Yeah.
also an interesting background that you bring. And it's interesting that you really want to help people. I love that because, my
Mhm.
background's in nonprofit, so I want to do the same thing. So
Yeah.
tell me the kind of programs. Do you help just anybody or is it wealthy people
No, I
or
help anybody because I came from a place where I didn't really know about finances. And I wish someone had told me, because I probably wouldn't have had the financial miscues that I had if I had known what to do early on. So for me, I think everyone should have knowledge. I'm not the type of person where I only, well, I do know some people, they only work with people with a certain net worth, but
mm,
I'm not that type of person. I believe like if we have the knowledge, then we have an obligation and responsibility to pass it on to everyone. So I show everyone what I've learned and also help them try to, turn around their financial situation.
tell me something.
Mhm.
What surprised you most about owning a business, owning your own business? Has it been
Oh,
exactly what you thought it was going to be?
Um, yes and no, because the thing I can say yes about is being in charge of my own time and relegating how I do things and making sure I'm doing it the way I want to do. So
Mhm.
I'm represented in the way I want to be represented. I'm not just doing this to do this or anything like that. I know that it's true to me. So I'm able to sleep at night knowing that I'm doing things that are legal and ethical for people and making sure they're getting their things together. The thing I didn't expect is like just having such a fear of taking that leap to do your own business, because it's not something I think we are inherently taught that it's a natural thing to do. So it's like overcoming those barriers when you're used to going to a 9 to 5 and doing a regimented type thing. It's like really restructuring how you think of when you're running a business. It's like you're coming up with everything and you're making sure you're getting these things done. So to me, it's a lot more work being a business owner than just going to a 9 to 5.
Mhm. But it's much more rewarding as well.
Yes, yes, definitely.
Okay. And what areas do you serve?
So I serve people with mainly finances. So it's like your budget, savings, learning how credit works. Also looking at retirement and people understanding, what's going on with retirement and what retirement plans really are, because people really aren't aware of how traditional retirement plans work. So it's like educating people on that, educating people on how, credit cards work. A lot of people are unaware of what the true use of credit cards should be. So showing people how to do that, as well as showing people how to be strategic when it comes to life insurance. Because I was one of those people, I thought life insurance, you only get it in order to have something to leave behind to someone. And it's totally not true, because the wealthy have been using insurance to literally fund businesses, like AKA Mr. Walt Disney. No one would give him a loan. So guess what he did? He used this life insurance policy, the cash value within it, to fund Walt Disney World and get it started and off the ground. So people don't realize people are using this in ways where they're leaving their money that they've earned alone, but they're utilizing these life insurance policies and these cash values to do other things like during run a business and things of that nature. So ensuring people to be strategic, and also you can receive tax-free retirement through a life insurance policy if it is properly funded and structured. It's just so many advantages of having a life insurance policy that we weren't taught. And so me getting the knowledge now that I have, I'm making sure to spread it to the masses.
Okay, let's talk about money because you're talking about money, but how much does it cost for someone to utilize your services? What is your initial consultation fee?
So for me, I always do a free one-on-one confidential consultation with my clients. And then from there, it's basically I structure it based on what type of products they may need for themselves or their families, be it for retirement or just saving, to have something for a rainy day, or however they need to pay down debt. However we need to do it is how I structure it for my clients.
So it really is customized to the individual.
Yes, very much so. Because not one shoe fits everyone,
Right,
not one size fits
right.
all.
One size
So
fits
you
all.
have to be the type of person that individualizes for each person, even within a couple. each person in a couple is their own individual. So you got to make sure the plan works for that person, because some people may be ready and willing to start changing and doing a 180, and some people may not be. So it's still working with those type, of personalities, and see where people really truly are to start the journey.
And that was going to be my next question because I just
Okay.
wonder how long you work with these clients. But I guess the answer is going to be it depends on the client and where they are in the process and what their goals are and everything.
Exactly. Yes, ma'am. That's definitely it.
So with the advent of COVID, how has this impacted your business? And have you had to make any changes in order to cope with the challenges of COVID?
Oh, yes. I mean, there were some big, big challenges, because at one point when COVID first started, it was a slowdown in business,
Yeah.
because people were getting laid off, businesses were being shut down because of COVID, and trying to, not spread the virus and everything like that. So that was a change. But also on the upside, people were reevaluating where they were financially. So I picked up a lot of clients that way who were just saying, hey, it's time. I've been putting this off, and I need to buckle down and see what I need to do to
Wow.
make sure I'm in the best possible position for myself. So it's been both sides of the coin, but it's been beneficial. I can't complain. And also it's just transitioning from less face-to-face to more Zoom appointments and things of that nature. So being truly on a virtual world to, complete business.
So
And
you said
also for the COVID-19, it literally changed the business processes with a lot of the carriers I work with, where at first they were like, no, things had to be like physically signed by a client. But now everyone's all about the e-signature. So a lot of businesses and carriers had to change the way they did business too. So it was from the top down.
well, that's kind of interesting because if someone can't meet with you or, for whatever reason, you can do a Zoom call like
Yeah.
what we're doing and take care of the business via electronic signatures and stuff.
Yes, ma'am.
So that was a blessing, kind of a weird way.
It was. It was.
Okay. If somebody wants to get in contact with you, what's the best way?
The best way for me is always text me, and my number is 706-717-9590. Once again, 706-717-9590. They can text me. They can also reach out to me. I have pages on Facebook, my personal page, Sacajawea Fanning, or Fanning Financial Group LLC, my business page. And also I'm on Instagram as Sacajawea Fanning. Oh,
Okay.
and I also have a webpage, www.sfanning.com.
Spell Sacajawea for everybody slowly.
Yes. So Sacajawea is Sacajawea, and then Fanning, F as in Frank, Anning.
All right, Sacajawea. It has been a pleasure speaking with you today. I'm going to have you back because I think what we really need to do is to talk about the products that you offer, but a little bit at a time because you offer a lot of stuff. You
Yes,
definitely do.
ma'am.
Okay. Can we have you back?
Yes, ma'am. I would love to. And thank you so much for having me in the first place. It was an honor. And thank you so much for thinking of me.
And thank you for serving this country, Sacajawea. Okay.
No
That's not
problem.
something to be ignored.
Yeah, I followed in the footsteps of my dad and my uncle. So I ended up
Oh,
in there.
military family.
Yeah, my dad was in the Army, my uncle was in the Navy, and I ended up in the Air Force. So yeah.
That's fantastic. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.